Hello and greetings. Just let me get my bearings straight a minute. Oh, now I can breathe. Right, so along my bike ride just now, something came to mind, and I believe that it's vital I get this information out there. I was under the impression that all household waste, such as foods grown as well as looked after by private resources, that's guaranteed to have actually had however many inorganic chemical compounds along with toxins added to any particular said household waste, food wise that is. The idea was that we could essentially break it down, decompose it as food supply, i.e. fresh compost. Along with any other household waste such as cardboard, paper, newspaper, tissue roll holders, and only God knows what else. Now, see, here's the thing. Decomposing all of this household waste, as you will, is only putting back all of the chemical inorganic, or should I say the inorganic chemical compounds within our food supply when it comes down to making fresh compost, as you will. Now, the only way we're going to be able to make fresh compost is by growing our own food, our own supply, free from all cancerous inorganic chemical compounds such as food growths. And we just grow our foods naturally via the outdoor sunshine, filtered water. So essentially we're giving all plant life and all vegetation even fresh water, pure water, thus making our foods actually in fact chemical free and fit for human consumption. So if people are actually in fact looking for ways to make fresh compost in order to grow fresh chemical free food supplies, then you're going to have to cancel the idea of what's the word I'm looking for? In other words, you're going to have to stop using private foods that were grown by private retailers. You know, in other words, they're actually in fact under what's the word I'm looking for? Privatization, you know, private companies, as you will. We're going to have to cancel, like I said, the idea of using household wastes and food wastes in order to make our fresh compost and start again from scratch. In other words, we are going to have to use our own products that we've actually in fact grown and harvested ourselves, and whatever doesn't actually in fact get claimed by other people, we can then throw on a compost heap along with any pig carcasses, cow carcasses, decomposing even within the fresh composts that is already being made, as you will, which I believe they range from anywhere up to 30 degrees plus Fahrenheit which would actually in fact speed up the decomposition rate of any carcasses, for that matter, involving animals for additional nutrients. But the only way, like I said, we're going to be able to make our own inorganic, chemical-free soil compost is by using our own wastes that are actually in fact homegrown, even naturally even. This included animals that were brought up and raised up within a loving environment with plenty of foods, plenty of outdoor life, and plenty of friends, as you will. Let's say let's say, I don't know, some of the animals fell gravely ill, you know, due to natural causes. We give them the best life that they've actually in fact endured within their last and final days, rather than, you know, caged up like some, you know, battery hen, as you will. And we give them all the food that they want. We give them all the love and affection that they want, as well as plenty of outdoor life with other friends, animal friends that is. And when their time does actually in fact come to a demise, we can then use their said carcasses placed upon any fresh compost piles, as you will, that farmers are currently in the middle of making now in order to grow their own harvest, as you will. And advice from the wise to any farmers out there, I highly suggest that you don't use any fertilizers and any other cancerous toxin upon your crops, and that you come up with more imaginative and creative ways in order to protect your crops from being eaten, as you will, from imposters, you know. Worst case scenario, it's going to cost you an additional, you know, wage, as you will. But I recommend that you get some chicken wire. I say chicken wire. What do they call it? It's like a wiring to prevent any birds and any other rodents from getting to your crops, that is. And also, rather than use, like I said, cancerous fertilizers in order to protect your crops even, use organic compounds such as Himalayan rock salts, sea salts on a whole. Because essentially what this will do is it will dehydrate any slugs and any snails from accessing your crops without it affecting your crops on a whole, for that matter. And that's all that came to mind just now as I was cycling. So do as you will with this information. You know, I can only, like I say, pass on what I learn as I go about my travels in order to help, you know, the industries that are actually in fact contributing to healthier food supplies, you know. But again, you have free will to take from it. But like I said, you can either hearken on to this voice of truth, or you could unacknowledge this voice of truth, abuse your free wills by denying me mine, by getting this information out there, inspiring each and every one of you to grow your foods naturally and reap the consequences and the punishments to your actions. And like I said, you can hearken on to my voice and reap the blessings and the rewards, or should I say, and the rewards in return. The choice is yours. And there you have it. Peace.